So today I'm doing some major changes. If you are interested to see how this works out for me, let me be the guinea pig. And I am using them in the enclosure. They have this whole area to lay their eggs in. If you're wanting to switch over to Bioactive and you're also breeding and you're worried about not being able to find the eggs, well, this video is for you, where I'm going to show you step by step how to set up your enclosure so that you are guaranteed to never miss a single egg. Stay tuned, let me show you how to do it. So today I'm doing some major changes to all of the Bioactive enclosures for the gargoyles. Now, this is not something that everyone needs to do, but with me being out of town some weekends, going to reptile shows and different things like that, I was a bit worried about missing some eggs that were laid. So right now my routine is I come in here every evening and I check and I see if any females are laying eggs. I also record their weights, and once they have, a drastic weight loss, then that means they probably laid some eggs. But that's been a little bit hard to keep up with, especially with, like I said, going out of town on weekends and things like that. It hasn't happened yet, but I just really did not want to miss eggs. And there's a few reasons for that. One, the eggs could go bad if they're left in the enclosure. I think with these enclosures and how I have them set up, that the eggs would do fine and they would hatch if I missed them. And I was worried about a baby hatching out and getting munched on by one of the adults in the cage, because they would not miss that opportunity. So I'm doing something very different. I don't know if it's ever been done before. Tell me if you've seen this before. I don't know. I was looking at the enclosures and I was trying to come up with something that would work better for me, and this is what I came up with. Let me show you. Okay, here's one that I've completed. I am taking all the substrate and I'm digging it out, okay? And I'm moving it to one side. Then I am putting down like an even layer, about 1.5 inches of substrate on this side of the enclosure. I cut the enclosure in half, right from one corner to the back corner, okay? And then on top of that substrate, I am putting these rocks, okay? And what that's going to do is make it to where the gargoyles do not lay their eggs here. So that way, whenever I'm checking for eggs, I only have to worry about this area right here. So I've got all the plants. It's heavily planted on the side that I don't have to dig up. And then over here, I try to keep it pretty open. I think that's going to solve a lot of my problems and make it to where I won't miss any eggs when I'm digging around. Because what I have to do right now is, if I want to check all the substrate, is I have to pull everything out. Pull it all out, dig through the substrate, try to find any eggs that might have been laid over the weekend. So I think this is going to work perfectly for me, and it might work perfectly for you as well. So if you're debating, between going Bioactive or breeding, well, I think I found a solution that you can do both. I know a big perk in keeping geckos like in tubs or without the Bioactive enclosures is having a lay box and just checking that for eggs. Well, I've kind of done that in a more natural way, and I really like the look of it, and I like the functionality. So just like you have your lay box, well, now this is my lay box over here. So next we're going to set up one of the enclosures. I'm going to empty it out, dig out some of the substrate, put the rocks in there, put everything back in there, redecorate it, set it all back up, put the geckos in, blah, 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 all that stuff. Let me show you exactly how I did that. So here's the enclosure that I'm going to work on next. As you can see, digging through this is just quite a challenge. I keep it really packed full of stuff because I think that's how they like it, and they definitely are doing really well in it. But it just makes it very difficult to dig around for eggs. So I'm going to pull everything out and I'll show you what we're going to do after that. I just pulled out this log. It was in here like this, if you remember. And look, we've got one of our little geckos hanging out inside of here. So they definitely are utilizing that. Look at this beautiful girl. She was hiding in the back. She's so pretty. So I was working on getting everything out and moving the substrate around, and look what we found in here. Some beautiful pearly whites. I'm going to check them and see if they're fertile, but I really believe they are. And I'm checking real quick to see if the egg is good, and it is definitely a good egg. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but there is clearly on my screen, there is a red ring that goes around the egg, and we like to call that the circle of life. Let's see if, yeah, I don't think it's picking up on camera very well, but it is very easy to see for me. Okay, once I get a bunch of rocks placed back there, let me show you what I do next. I take some of these flat rocks, like this, and I build like a retaining wall. So I go all the way down to the screen, and then I pack it in. And then I'm gonna, once I put more substrate in, I fill it all the way up to here and flatten it out. So, and that's just to make sure that the geckos, when they're digging for a spot to lay their eggs, they don't dig back up underneath the rocks. I don't think they would, but just as a little precaution. Okay, we've got our plants and substrate in. Okay, so you can see back here are all the stones. Okay, it goes from this corner to this back corner over here. And then right here is deep substrate. So it goes all the way to the top of my finger. So that's deeper than what it was before. And this will give them, you know, a perfect place to lay their eggs. Okay, now the next step is to put all of the decor back in, and let's get to that. Look at these little guys hanging out down here. Loving their life in this vivarium. It's pretty sweet. So here it is, complete for now. I don't have the lights on it. I had to take them off to fit some things in, but as you can see, lots of places to hide, lots of places to climb. Had to replant this coming out of here, and then the roots go down into the soil. So hopefully that does okay being uprooted like that and replanted. And then they have this whole area to lay their eggs in. It's a lot easier to dig around now. I think this will work just fine. So we'll find out, we'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the geckos back in. Here's the girls that live in here. Extremely beautiful. Look at that blotch. She is gorgeous. Love that girl. Very gravid. She should be laying eggs maybe tonight, so I might be able to see how this works. And then those eggs that we found belong to this girl here. So I'm gonna put her back, and she will scurry away into her enclosure. Love looking at this girl. She's very pretty. Look at that tail. If you are interested to see how this works out for me, let me be the guinea pig. I'm the one that's trying it. Let's see how it works. Follow along on this channel. Go ahead and subscribe so you can make sure that you don't miss out when I see if these geckos enjoy using their new lay area and what they do with those rocks. If they leave them alone or if they try flipping them and going under them. Let's see. Follow along. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss the upload. So Liam and I would like to wish everyone a great day. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel so you can see exactly how we do things and what works for us when it comes to reptile husbandry and breeding. So, Liam, what do you have to say? I guess nothing. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
$1,000.
$1,000.